Before we will jump right into the tutorial, I want to make a short introduction. If you need any help of me and my team, then please don't hesitate to contact us. We will help you with any technical problems with your website. Below this video you'll find our contact details. See you soon. Bye.
Hello, in this video we will be looking at Gravity Forms and how to create a contact form or an order form or whatever you need from a survey to a multi-page questionnaire, but we're going to be kind of creating a simple form. And the reason I'm doing this is in case you are just starting with Gravity Forms, it gives you an idea how to use it. And secondly, if you're thinking about using Gravity Forms, it will show you how easy it is to create a form as well. And also I will be showing you a couple little tricks like conditional logic, which is very cool, and I'll show you the PayPal add-on. If we go under forms here and look at add-ons, you'll see that there's several different add-ons for that you get, and depending on the license you buy will depend on which of these you get. I'm going to show PayPal just because it's a pretty cool one, but you do have to have the developer's license to use this one. But you do, as you see, there's some other ones here, MailChimp and other polls and AuthorizeNet, Aweber. So again, if you go to purchase or you've already purchased PayPal, you may have some of these add-ons, or you may have them all depending on your license. What we do first is we go over to the forms here, and we're going to create a new form. And this basically just allows you to title the form and put in a description. You can show this information on your page or you can hide it. And I'm not going to be showing it, so I'm going to just name this just because I want to be able to identify when I'm placing it into a page. And then we're going to go to confirmation, and you'll see that we have text. That means that this text will come up after they've submitted. You can have it go to another page on your site after they've submitted the form, or it can be redirected to an outside URL. We'll close that. Over here we have our standard fields and advanced fields. That's what we're going to mostly be working with. We'll work with the pricing fields. Post fields, that will be in another video. And I won't be using all these, but I just want to show you how easy it is to set up this form and the numerous options you have as well. So I'm just going to add name, address, phone, email. The date is kind of cool because there's a little calendar, so people can choose. That would be great if you're asking people to select a time, maybe for a consultation or something like that. And then you have a few other things here. In the standard fields, we have single line text, paragraph text, radio buttons, check boxes. I'll be adding those momentarily, but I want to go through these fields first. So every field you open has a few options. Always going to have one or two tabs, or at least two tabs here. Everyone will have the option of renaming that field, so if you want to say your name instead or something like that, you can do it. And every field has the option of making it required or not. And then most of these advanced I'm not going to get into. I'm going to get into this enable conditional logic towards the end here to show you how that can come in very handy. So we're just going to leave this what we see with the name format. We can right now we have first and last, which is normal. You can go extended, which adds prefix and suffix, and you can do simple, which is just one space. So you have a few choices there, and we're just going to close that. Same with address. You have several different options. If we open the address field, you'll see that we have international, United States, or Canadian. So it depends, on who's actually filling out these forms or whether you think you'll get a lot of international. If we go United States, we just get the state, and you can also put in a default state in case somebody actually, most of your people are from Alaska, or you live in Alaska and most people are contacting you that way. You could put that in as a default. They still will be able to choose that. And you can hide the state field if you want for any reason, and you can also hide the second address line. So if we go here, we kind of eliminate that. And again, you have a few advanced features. So we'll go ahead, you can choose that to be required. We'll close that. Phone, same thing, a few simpler options here as far as phone format. You have the regular area code, plus number, or international. And we're just going to leave that like that. And then email. Again, you can enable email confirmation, and there's not a lot of options here and stuff. So that just kind of shows you how each one of these has options, how I've already created, put these fields in here pretty easily. Now, if for any reason we wanted the email field to come before the phone, we would simply drag it and drop it in above. So we're going to go ahead and save that form right now. And we're going to return to editing this form. We're not going to do anything else yet. Now, to show you the pricing fields in the PayPal and some of the other conditional logic, let's say we were putting a couple services up here, and we're going to use the checkbox. So I'm going to click on that. And when you get a checkbox, you can go in and actually put in whatever you want. And I'm just going to make it real simple here. Please choose what you need. Now, the first choice, I'm going to put in hourly consulting. And I'm putting in the price there for they see what that is. And then I'm putting in blog packages. And we're going to say 300, 750, and 1,000. So I'm kind of letting them choose either one of these right now. And we can always add more fields or do less fields by simply doing the plus or minus here. I don't need that second field, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up for they can actually order this. Now what we want is when they choose one of these, we don't want to have a bunch of fields for both of these underneath here, because that will be very confusing. And let me show you what I mean. I'm going to add 2 product fields underneath here. And you'll see that you have some shipping and other options here. So this first product, we're going to call it consulting. We're going to leave it as a single product. We're going to put it for $100 an hour. And we're going to leave the quantity field because we want people to choose however many hours they want to purchase. Now, the other thing we're going to do here is we're going to do a conditional logic. And what that means is if I click on advanced and click this enable conditional logic, I'm going to tell basically this form to show. It says show this field if all is a following match. So I only want this to show up if they click the hourly consulting. So we go down here and we find the please choose what we need is hourly consulting. So that makes it where they click that box, this pops up. If they click another box, we'll create another one here. So now we've got that set for the hourly consulting. Now we're going to do it for the blog packages. And we're going to call it again blog packages, and we're going to do a radio button. So we basically are giving them the 3 choices here. So we're going to go beginner, and I think I did 300. I'm hoping I did. If I didn't, well, it'll be a little bit different. And we're going to call it we're just making up some silly names here. We're going to call that one and make that, I believe that was 750. And then we're going to call this last one premium. And we're going to make that 1,000. Now again, we have to set that conditional logic. So what we do is we go to the advanced tab here and we enable it. And what we want to happen is when they choose the please choose what you need, and that is the blog packages, this shows up. So we're going to close that, and now we're going to put a total for people to know what they're spending, and we're going to update the form. Now with the PayPal add-on, what we would do next, and this is what's so cool about the PayPal add-on, is that it allows you to create, to integrate this order form with PayPal without having to go into PayPal, set up those ugly yellow buttons and all that, and then putting the code in and all that crap. So it just makes it so much better and so much easier. What we do is we've actually activated the PayPal add-on, and we're going to say add new, and we put in our PayPal, the email address we use for PayPal. If you're actually putting this you're not just testing, you want this to go live and work, keep it at production. Then we're going to select the transaction type. We want products and services. And now we're going to select the form we just created, that one we called it order form. And then here we choose what fields we want them to have to fill out. And since we did all these, we're gonna these forms, this will go into PayPal as well. So you can choose to just have first and last name and email, or if the whole stuff gets submitted to PayPal. Really, it depends on the shipping and all that stuff if you're doing shipping. For this ordering online, I may just choose to do these three. They'll still have to fill out everything. You'll still get that information. This is the only information that's going to PayPal. So, and then you have some choices here. I always do these. I don't need to include a shipping address. Of course, if you're shipping, you would do that. I don't need a note with a payment. And then I typically like these two because it only notifies me and the user when they've actually made payment. It doesn't notify me when they've just submitted the form. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to save that. Now we will create a page with the form. Go up to add new page, and we're going to call it consulting and blog packages. And you can put whatever content, please use this form to order. You can put whatever text you want before it. Go return. Once you have Gravity Forms in, you get this little icon up here by your media uploader. You'll select that, and then you'll select the form you want. Again, we called it order form. And here's where I told you that that very first box where we put the form title in, a description, we can show that or hide it. And since I didn't really put anything in there that I wanted them to see, I'm just going to go ahead and hide that. And I'll insert form, and I'll publish. And then we'll view the page. So now we have a nice form all set up. Now you'll see what happens here with this conditional logic. Those other fields aren't showing underneath here yet. When I push on hourly consulting, it gives me this. So now I can say I want 4 hours, and it basically sets it up to $400. If I unclick that, that hides. Now if I want blog packages and I want to order premium, there's 1,000. Once we click submit, this takes them right to PayPal and gives them the chance to pay. So it's very easy. There's no in between, no, like I said, no putting in code and stuff. So if this was actually set up, I don't have it really set up exactly to go to PayPal. You'd get that. They get that page to basically pay through PayPal or using a credit card or an ATM card. So that's how you create a form in Gravity Forms. One other thing I neglected to tell you, and I'm going to go in here real quick, is when you are actually creating the form, you can do this. When you save the form, it'll say set up notifications, and typically you would want to do that when you're saving it. So let's just go back here. We're going to edit this. We're just going to add one more field just for we could do that. Let's add paragraph text. And just to again show you the options for the paragraph text, and again I can edit this to whatever I need. So I've decided to put paragraph text there. I edit it, and I can put in maximum characters, and I can also choose the size of field. So maybe if I didn't want it to be so big, I mean, you can still put in as much text as you allow them to. I can make the field a little bit smaller, and I might call this, tell me more. And we close that. Now when we update the form, or when we're saving it at the last, what we can do now is we can go up to notifications, and this is actually the notification that you will get and that you can send out as an autoresponder. So this first is what comes to you. So if you leave this as default, that means that it's basically going to be emailed to whatever admin email you have on your WordPress dashboard, or you can put in an email specifically there. And then you can put in, typically I would say, I would choose the name. That would tell me who it's coming from, who submitted it, what name they put in the form, and also what email. You can blind carbon copy this to somebody else if you want somebody else to get notification. And then you can put in here whatever you want. This right now will say new submission from order form. You could put, new submission from, new order, whatever you want. This will be the subject. Again, this is the email you're getting. And if you leave all fields, that will show all fields that they filled out and that you required that they filled out. You can also put in specific tags in there if you just want to know certain information or you want it in a certain order. But this will just all come through, and it comes through a very nice email that's very easy for you to read. Then the other option you have here is to enable email notifications, and basically what that means is once they've submitted the form, you can set up an autoresponder to send them a thank you for submitting your form. Maybe if you're giving something away, by saying, fill out this form and you'll get a free ebook. Maybe you send them this email with a link to the free ebook. So again, you would go ahead and just put in your name, who's coming from your email. If you want to change it from your admin email, again, you can have this blind carbon copied. Then the subject, thank you for ordering from Bob WP or whatever you want. And then this is where you would put in the body of the email. So you could say hi, and insert the merge tag of their first name, and thanks for ordering, blah, blah, blah. So this is your autoresponder that goes to the person that actually filled out the form. And once you have this all saved, you're good to go. So anyway, that gives you an idea how easy, I've just touched the tip of the iceberg with this Gravity Forms. There's so much you can do with it, but this at least gives you an idea of a way to create a contact form and how easily Gravity Forms makes it. So until next time, take care.
I hope you liked the tutorial, and if you have any problems with this, you can contact me and my team below this video. So check the links below. See you soon.